It's time for bookkeeping, beer, and BS. James, I want to get to one thing here before we wrap up, which is the last couple of years have been really goofy. We went through like the COVID year, super weird, right? That's 2020. Was that all the way back in 2020?
2 years.
Was that 2021?
2020. 2021 was the year of disturbed supply chains.
Yeah. So I was looking at that. I was like, I was going to say 2020. I'm looking at my calendar. I'm like 2023. Like it was already 3 years ago. Like it's on the verge of being 3 years ago, which is crazy. It's crazy that it's already like on the verge of being 3 years ago. But almost 3 years ago, we went through the COVID. Like who knows what's going to happen. 2 years ago, we went through the supply chain. We can't get anything. This last year, we went through are we in a recession? And like some businesses are starting to act like we are and some aren't, and some clients are starting to act like we are and some aren't. In each case, I feel like it's the paradigm is shifting and there's shit to be learned. Right. And you and I have talked about this on Turf's Up Radio. And so I know your perspective on what we do in these scenarios, but nonetheless, I'm confident that we both keep like learning lessons and finding things and being like, oh, this is a new perspective on this thing. So as you've gone through the last year or so, is there anything that stuck out to you where you're like, like maybe not like a change of mind, but maybe it's like a realization. Maybe it is a change of mind of like, I thought this and now I think this, or maybe it's just I had never thought of this before. Anything that sticks out to you over the last couple of years where you're like, yeah, we should maybe be spending more time thinking about it this way?
Yeah, I mean, for 2022, it was the year for us. It was the year of duplication and process documentation for growth. So it's the year of being able to prep for scaling. So depending on what level of business everybody's at, but that was for us personally. So we were looking at every aspect from vendors to production to office to leadership. So for us, it was the year of, like I said, building up knowledge in our team members. So I didn't want to lose anybody. Of course, nobody does. So I think the last 2 years really taught us that. And especially last year too, was how do we keep people sticky, right? How do we keep people attaining their goals or going in a path to attain their goals? How do we figure out what their goals are and how they align with the company? And what's their progression chart for, what they want? If they want to be making $100,000, great. Well, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. But if you didn't do any of these things, then that's on you. Like I'm laying it out for you.
Yeah, you got this. You got the mathematical formula. You just got to put the inputs in.
Yep. So if somebody starts out with us at $20 an hour, here's how to do it if you really want it. So then you see who wants it. But still trying to help people with their personal goals. So I think that's the biggest thing for 2022 was just processes and figuring out through those processes who can be elevated for scaling. When we scale, when we grow, when we acquire, when we build, who wants it more than somebody else? And if nobody wants it, then we're going to find somebody that wants it. So last year wasn't that bad for vendor wise. I mean, 2021 was horrible. That was a whole year of purchasing and figuring out stuff and supply chain issues and no vehicles and all of that. Last year was way better. So that was more of an internal year for focusing on our staff and our processes.
Yeah.
And that's going to continue. That's never going to end. It was just where the great awakening of taking care of people happened.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this on Turf's Up Radio earlier today. I feel like the recruiting is getting more and more and more and more important, and bigger companies are so aggressive at it. And we forget a lot of times that that's who we're competing with. It's like when we compete on the marketing front, we're competing with the other lawn care and landscaping company, the other window cleaning company, the other pressure washing or maid service company. On the marketing end, we compete with companies like us. On the recruiting end, we compete with freaking behemoths.
Yep.
we compete in the labor market with people that have way more resources, and like, oh yeah, we're not just gonna like cave to them, right? Like, yeah, you can go work at an Amazon warehouse, but I guarantee they don't have the culture that we have in this like family-oriented, core values-based business. You can go work for a huge company, or you can go work for a company where you can actually make a difference, right? You can spin it however you want. There's benefits and reliabilities that go along with working at an Amazon warehouse or a Walmart or wherever, but there's cool uniquenesses to working for our type of companies. And so I think it put the onus on us to be creative about how we're different and attract the people that want that difference. So I think that's one thing I've realized over the last couple of years, especially is on the recruiting side, on the employee side, on the retention side, we're not competing with our industry. We're competing way outside of our industry. And we need to realize that and think differently and be more thoughtful about it and be more competitive about it.
For sure. And it goes back to that. I mean, it's a new year, right? We're a couple days away from halfway through January already. I don't know how that's possible, but we need to know what our goals are, our vision of where our companies are going. And that paints the picture to excite anybody that we bring on or that we already have. So that's what we're about to do here soon. As soon as we finalize books, finalize everything, get our presentations put together of annual meetings of where we're going, because I've got a bar graph or kind of a chart that's going to go together of here's where we're going. When this happens, at this point, we're going to need an area supervisor in this division. At this point, we're going to need this position. At this point, if this other acquisition goes through, we're going to need a regional person. And so it kind of excites people of like, if we were stagnant or plateaued in business, people wouldn't be excited to work with me. Mm-hmm. So I'm painting the picture. I'm working my ass off to make sure that everybody has a path going forward that's going to be better than the year before. So when they see that, so when they see that of like, holy shit, this isn't just, a $50,000 a year or an $18 an hour job or whatever, like this is going to be nationwide. Mm-hmm. And do I want it now or go work for this other company, wishing I would have worked for this company because I saw his passion and his vision of where they're going? But that starts with us as business owners first. Like if we're going to help 5,000 companies with their bookkeeping, who's going to manage the groups of bookkeepers that take care of each region, right? Who's going to take care of those managers? Who's going to be the senior level marketing VP, right? So you have all those things coming up as you grow, and then you're just kind of throwing the feed out there, and whoever wants it is like, all right, I'm going to take the steps to get to that position. I want to be part of this dream. Or no, it seems like a lot of work. I'm just going to, check out. Yep. So it starts with us with that vision first. And I think that's where for sure this year's going. It's how do we make and inspire everybody that works for us.
Hey, what's up, business nerd? Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you learned a heck of a lot watching that episode. Do me a favor, subscribe right down here. And if you really like what you saw, you got more goods right here. Check out this one or check out this one and do this. Go subscribe. Appreciate you. Work smarter, work harder, go earn yourself some pride. Catch you on the next one.